Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. Today's video will be talking about beauty politics and glamour labor. I want to delve into both of these terms because they're really important. I think they are coming up a lot more, and when we discuss how beauty is becoming a predominant thing and how pervasive it is in every aspect of life, especially in society, especially our American society that we have. But first and foremost, I want to just delve into the actual terms of what they mean. So we talk about beauty policy. We're talking about a system of beauty and how that system pretty much rewards people who are more attractive and punishes people who are less attractive, and how those standards of beauty are pretty much the barometer of how much access you have to resources and opportunities. So when we look at people like, let's say, poster child for beauty politics, Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is probably a good case study in what beauty politics are all about. She is considered the new standard of beauty, and thus she has incredible access to wealth and resources because of it. Like, she was already rich when she first started out her, I guess, reign over celebrityness. That's not even a word, but as she became more fixated in her appearance and all that stuff, her notoriety started to rise as well. And when she started to do a lot more things to her, but augment her body, she also achieved more access to things. And she got to a point where she is probably one of the most recognizable figures in the entire world right now. If you put Kim Kardashian in there, or what, Kim K. West, I think is what she's going by now. Like, she is like beauty politics in a nutshell. Like, their whole family is, to be honest. Like, there would be a good case study if anyone was ever going to do a research paper on beauty politics. That would be a good family to use as a case, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's definitely a system of power, honestly, because your access to, opportunities and resources are dictated by how attractive you are based on the standard of beauty. So that's pretty much the gist of beauty politics and whatnot. But let's delve into glamour labor, because that's a new term I actually just found out today. I was doing some research on this video. This term comes from, pull up my phone for notes, because that's what good YouTubers do these days. Let's see. This was done by a paper done by Elizabeth Wessinger. I think that's Weisinger. Yeah, Weisinger. That's how you pronounce it. She wrote a paper called "No Filter: Models, Glamour Labor, and the Age of the Blink." And she just goes into detail about, how modeling and, Instagram and all this type of stuff and just social media has pretty much become a pervasive thing in our society. And she goes into what glamour labor is, which I'll define it directly from her, because I don't want to misquote her. I'm trying to be really good these days when I do these videos. All right, so glamour labor is both the body work to manage appearance in a person and the online image work to create and maintain one's cool quotient. Cool is in quotation marks. How hooked up, tuned in, and in the know one is. Glamour labor is this dual-pronged, involving both embodied visual aspects of working on one's image. Its physical mode is the high maintenance of stylish self-presentation by working to achieve a body and look, quote, quote, that fits the current fashion. Its virtual mode involves the effort to keep up with trends by reading fashion magazines, watching award shows, and expending energy to stay keyed into what's happening in terms of style, desirable brands, and how to get them. So, one of the key aspects of that is pretty much you're putting a lot of effort and resources into how you look and how you present yourself online. This would be considered, I guess, branding, I guess would be a good way to put this, but branding is looked at as a good thing, where glamour labor can be a little detrimental. But I think they're really synonymous anyway, because branding is the exact same thing. You're pretty much making sure that you present yourself in a way that fits in with what your particular brand is. And then glamour labor is pretty much keeping your body looking right, whatever the trend is. So basically, a lot of Instagram models will fall into this glamour labor because they try to get the big booty, the small waist, and big tits and injected lips, because they gotta keep up with the current trend. That's the current trend right now. and they have to make sure you wear the clothes that go along with it, have the style to go with it. So they have to always have the latest hair, they have to have the latest Fashion Nova outfits and all that stuff. So Glamour Labor, and it falls on everyone. Like everyone that participates in social media to a degree has some type of like Glamour Labor that they go into. Even me personally, like I know I try to like look cute on Instagram. I don't know if I really keep up with trends very much. I definitely don't keep up with body trends because my body is definitely not trendy at all. So I'm already feeling at that portion of Glamour Labor. But I know a lot of people who do put a lot of like labor into how their body looks so they can wear the certain things to look cute. Like one thing I know in particular is the trend of wearing the mesh stuff, like the mesh shirts and the mesh jeans and stuff like that. Like that trend is definitely set for people who have a particular body type. And if you don't, then you kind of get shunned for it. Or like crop tops, definitely crop tops is another one of those things where glamour comes into play because you got to have the body to have this look that is considered appropriate for online. Because if you don't, you get like people telling you how fat you are, how attractive you are, all that stuff. So beauty politics and glamour labor play such a big role in our society right now, and it plays a big role in the gay community. I don't even want to tell you how many times that I've seen posts where people like, I think there was one recently where this guy was like, if you have more than 60% body fat, I don't want to be your friend. And it's crazy that you would even have type of that be a stipulation to a friendship with a person. Is beyond me. And aesthetics are just so important to gay culture, and now glamour labor is definitely such a huge part. Like people won't even befriend you if you have you have a certain amount of like followers on social media for people to be friends with you now. Like it's become such a crazy, like you gotta get your follow count up in order to be friends with certain people in the gay community. Like it's ridiculous, and that just falls into beauty politics because it's like, oh, okay, this particular body type is the most acceptable. So this particular body type will have more access to, opportunities and people and just all that type of stuff. And it's crazy that we live in a society like that where physical attractiveness has always been a big deal, but now it actually has like more tangible like rewards for it. Like there's a reward system to being beautiful. People who are beautiful are more sought after, they're desired more, and people who are desired more definitely have access to more stuff. I actually was reading over the summer on this research paper. Can't think of her name on top of my head. I'm gonna pull it up though. It was basically talking about the beauty premium, which is how people who are more attractive are more likely to get more raises or get more access to opportunities within their job space. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Okay. All right, beauty premium, the role of organizational sponsorship in the relationship with physical attractiveness and early career salaries. This was completed by Karen Dossinger, Connie R. Weinberg, Youngji Choi, and Lisa M. Leslie. And this was published in the Journal of Vocational Behavior. Yeah, I think I got that right. Yeah, I think I got it right. I actually paid for it to get this paper because I was so fascinated by it. They're like $20 to read the whole thing. I didn't care. I was like, I have extra money. I'll read this because it was really fascinating. And basically, she did a study on people who were like in their they just getting out of college, and they were trying to gauge who was considered attractive. They had like a really like standard, like, okay, these people are attractive, and they were trying to gauge like how they progressed at their job based on just their attractiveness alone. I think at the very end of it, I mean, there was two criteria. There was being given opportunities and given resources within the company to do better at your job. I think at the very end of it, she found that people who are more attractive do get placed in more opportunities. Probably they get more chances to go different places. They were like become the face of the company pretty much. But what she did find, even though you're more attractive, you're not given more resources within the company to achieve your goals. So that was interesting, I thought. But still, the main thing I think from it was that when you're attractive, you're considered, you have like this thing called the halo effect, which people do all the time. The halo effect is basically people perceive you to be, the more attractive you are, the people perceive you to be more happier, more intelligent, more everything. Like you're considered to be like this great, an angel pretty much. And people who are less attractive are definitely seen as, introverted, cowardly, like all the bad traits pretty much. But on the flip side of the halo effect is definitely people think you're sometimes conceited or arrogant because of how attractive you are. But the general premise of it, of being the halo effect, definitely plays into all this stuff, especially when it comes to careers and all this stuff. And it's all this ties together. Beauty politics, Glamour Labor, beauty premium, all this stuff ties together. This is just a connective thread of just different concepts that all play into each other. And so when it comes to just being in the world right now, it's really tough if you don't have these things. It's much harder. Like for women, they definitely have it way harder when it comes to beauty politics. Like it's such, like you could be the most intelligent person in the world and someone would definitely comment on how attractive you are or how fuckable you are and all that stuff. I think I was reading the other day, I think it was an article that came out and they were saying how one of Obama's secretary generals was so attractive and they was just making such a big deal about it. I'm like, what does that have to do with her job? Like, that's nothing to do with her job at all. Her attractiveness has zero to do with her job. But unfortunately, women are placed under a microscope much more than men are. Even though there's a growing trend of companies trying to like make men feel inferior because of how they look, and they're trying to like prey upon them as well. Cause that's an untapped market in male beauty that they haven't done so much over the years. So they figure, oh, let's make men feel let's make men feel insecure about their bodies and how they feel and how they look, so we can tap into that and make more money from them too, like we do women. But yeah, so as this relates to the gay community as a whole, you definitely see how people who are more attractive are treated much better than everyone else. Like they're seen as being, oh, he's so attractive, he must have a great life, even though most of them have like so many deep-seated issues or they're unhappy or depressed. But you wouldn't know that because the halo effect has you thinking, oh, well, he's attractive, of course his life's great. I mean, I even do that. I've done it to plenty, but I'm like, oh, well, he's super attractive, he must have nothing to worry about, he must be happy all the time. And usually they do have a much more happier disposition. Actually, there was another article that popped up that I thought about just a second ago. It was about how more attractive children are treated differently than less attractive children during school. Like the more attractive children are usually chosen more to do more extrovert activities as far as like, speaking in front of people or anything that deals with visuals. They usually choose them over them. They treat them better too as well. Even parents, they treat their more attractive children better than they do their least attractive children. That's been a study that came out. They did. I forgot the actual study though. I wish I could pull up that. I have so many notes. And they usually have a better self outlook on life too. Like they found that people who are more attractive tend to look at life more optimistically than people who are less attractive as well, because of course you spend your whole life being treated like garbage from people, and people who are more attractive get treated like royalty their whole life. Of course they're going to think life is great and they have all this optimism and all this stuff. So I think the people who didn't grow up that way are the ones like, oh, well, you're attractive. Like, well, I didn't always grow up this way. Like I was the other ugly duck like me. I was like really unattractive when I was little. So now people are like, oh, you should have more confidence. No, you don't just grow confidence overnight. If you've been told you're ugly all your life by society and family and friends and lovers and dating stuff, like you're not gonna instantly one day just decide, oh, I'm so gorgeous, I'm so attractive, I'm so confident. Like that's just not how that works. Like it becomes embedded in you after a while. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent. So yeah, people who are more attractive definitely have, I don't want to say an easier life, but they definitely have a lot more privileges and they have more access to everything, to be honest. Like you can literally just be attractive and get through life just because of that. Because if you're attractive, like, people are going to automatically assume that you have all these great characteristics in the job market, in the dating market, in every facet of life. Being attractive is definitely a plus, and being less attractive is not. So I guess that's the end of this. I don't want to rant too much, but I just thought the Glamour Labor was such an interesting concept because it just like it's dual, like you're doing two different things. You're trying to keep your body up to look a certain way to fit the clothes that you need to wear in order to have the visual aesthetics online. Your online presence has to match your, well, usually that doesn't happen. A lot of people's online presence doesn't match their in-person presence, but whatever, that's another topic. But it's just interesting that glamour labor isn't really defined in a lot of spaces, but it's such an important thing right now, especially now with Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat. Like, being attractive is such a huge deal. It is so much more than it ever has been. You could literally get access to money just from being good looking. Like, just, you don't even have to like go to like a modeling agency. You could just be online. They're like, oh, you're really hot. Do you want to like do this ad on Instagram real quick for like $2,000? Sure, why not? You're not gonna get that if you're not attractive. Like, that's just not gonna happen most of the time. You're gonna be like, oh, well, we don't even like certain types of people to be a part of our ads. So, but anyway, I'm ranting. What do you guys think about beauty politics and glamour labor and beauty premium? What is your thoughts on this? Let me know. Please like, share, please comment. I love people commenting on stuff. I try to like reply as many as I can. So I'm actually gonna go back and look through some of my old comments. But thanks for watching, and I will see you next video.